he likes you a little bit more than he likes her. My original title was He Likes Her a Little Bit More Than You. And when I think about that, it feels so cruel. It feels so mean. Nobody wants to feel like somebody likes another woman more than they like themselves. Who can even, that is a hard concept to even accept and think about, which is why people stay in denial. It only feels good if we say he likes you a little bit more than he likes her, but that might not be the case. The truth is, he might just like her a little bit better, but it could also be vice versa. The reason I did this is because there are some people out here who are watching this video and they're thinking, I know I have a great connection with this man. What is going on? It feels like he's a little distant. It feels like he's not treating me the way I feel like I deserve to be treated. And I want to know why. Why is this happening? What is going on? It's kind of a wake up call kind of thing. Like, I want you to think about how you're presenting yourself. And I also want you to think about the reasons why he might like somebody a little bit more than he likes you, because there might be some things that you can do differently. There could be something that you change. And it also could be that you start working on yourself to have the strength to move on and find someone else. And a genuine, I'm out of here, could stimulate that dude to come after you a lot harder, because now you're genuinely not interested because you've worked on yourself and you're moving on. You understand your worth. You understand that there's somebody out there that is an equal match, somebody that's going to suit you better than that guy does. And you just decided, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to have integrity no matter how I feel. Do you think you have the strength to do that? Do you have the capacity? You're not just talking a lot of noise, but you actually put action behind it, that if you are pining for this guy, you want him back, you want to be with him so badly, but he's not acting right. There's something about the way that he's acting that's making you feel like you have to chase him, and you know that's not working very well. He needs to be pursuing you because it works better. Although some guys these days will feel like, I want the woman to chase me. But how you gonna act if a woman is chasing you? I mean, for real though, doesn't that kind of weaken you as a man? Or does it make you feel like you are a better person, or more wanted, or more handsome and attractive because you've got more than one woman pining for you and that feels so good to you? But is that what you need to make your self-esteem great? I don't think so. For me personally, I will say, and I'm sure most of the women watching this can say the same thing, or they feel that, or they've had the experience where you have more than one guy who is seeking you, who wants your attention, who likes you. That feels good. I've had that to happen for me. And the only reason I'm saying this, because it sounds kind of braggadocious, like, oh, well, so what? Good for you. But that isn't what I ever wanted. What I always wanted was an equal match, somebody who we just love each other. So you can have a million people who seek you, who find you attractive. And while you should stay humble and grateful and thankful, I think that's a better attitude. Humble, grateful, thankful, kind, respectful, those kinds of things, rather than I'm going to take advantage of that and mistreat people and make them feel bad and worthless. That should never be the goal. And even if you have multiple people who want you or who are seeking you, What difference does it make if you don't want them back? That doesn't feel good. It just puts you in the position to have to hurt someone's feelings or make somebody feel bad. That doesn't feel good to me. I always felt like it's more important to find somebody that you're in love with them and they're in love with you, and you can move on and cultivate your relationship and enjoy each other and have fun. I'd rather spend my energy that way. For me, that's more productive. And I think women in general tend, I'm not saying that there aren't any women who mistreat men. I don't think that's okay either. But women are, we're not multitaskers when it comes to relationships. We may multitask with the things that we can get done, but men are better suited at multitasking, dating multiple women, seeing who they like, stepping back objectively and making objective decisions. Women, we tend to get attached and we don't want to waste our time. Somebody in my comments argued with me about this, but most women don't really want to waste their time with a man that they are not serious about, that they're not invested in, because we're busy and we just don't think that way. So men do better with dating multiple women and making a decision about who he likes based on all the women that he's dating. But men are also more driven by their physical drives, if you know what I mean. Sorry, I hear a dog that's just howling. That could be a sign. Why is there a dog howling right now? I think men find it more fascinating or more enjoyable to be a quote unquote dog. Like they have been praised for being dogs. Women have never been praised for being hoes. So it's a cultural or societal or human, because I think it's a cross cultures difference. So from a female perspective, I find there's nothing to brag about. But I think if men are more drawn towards sexual encounters, or they have a much higher libido than women do because they have testosterone, unless there's some issues with the testosterone, which they could get that checked. Nothing wrong with that. Get it checked. But just generally speaking, men have a stronger libido and they're going to get something out of being with multiple women that most women, we're just like, we can go without. It doesn't mean that we don't have libidos or that we don't like it or that we don't want it, but it's not as strong as it is for men. So my point is, I'm trying to make some points here because I want you to have the relationship of your dreams. I want you to enjoy your relationship. I want you to understand why some relationships work better than others. And I think sometimes taking small points and dissecting them can really help you to make wiser and better decisions when it comes to romantic relationships, because I think romantic relationships are super important and you need that. You need that in your life. It's important and it's good to want that. But we can get so much damage can be done when we're in toxic situations and we don't understand what's really happening. So I want you to think about a coworker. I want you to think about a boss. I want you to think about a friend, a neighbor, a church member. And there are some people that you like more than others. There could be two people in each of these categories that you like tremendously, but there's one that just stands out just a little bit more for you because of your biological makeup, because of your experiences in life, because of the things that you need out of a friendship or a boss or a colleague or a church member, that there's something. It's like you buy fudge from two different companies and they both do something for you because they are both so delicious. But there's one where there's something you can't really describe. Maybe they put a little cinnamon in it and it's giving it a little bit of a kick. And that other person could be truly amazing as well. Like, if you hadn't met that second person, or you had never tasted that other fudge, that the first fudge would just be, oof, like just do it for you. But because you tasted that second fudge, or you met that second person, there's something about them that's unexplainable. And for me personally, I always looked for what is that? I want that unexplainable element in a romantic relationship. That's ideal. Now, if you get person number two, you are incredibly lucky also, because that person could make you happy romantically speaking. If we're talking about a romantic partner, but I wanted to kind of give you some examples that help you understand what I'm trying to get at, because sometimes we can like, oh no, I'm blocking that out. Like, I have to be number one. I have to be his favorite person. Sometimes there's nothing you can do to be that number one based on what was his mother like? What was his father like? Did he get abandoned by one of them? Did she fold all his laundry for him? Was that a turn on for him or a turn off? Not a turn on, but did he like that or did he hate that? It could be just some little things that you do, or just your personality, your innate, you were born like this type deal happening. So sometimes you could be doing everything right, and this other person comes along. It could be a cultural difference. He could prefer one culture over the other. He could always fantasize about, there's this channel that I watch, for example, because you might be thinking, well, we have to be the same ethnicity. Not necessarily, because there's this guy that I watch, he's Anglo and he loves African American women. And even though he likes women of his own race, it's something about the African American woman that just does something to him. So, and I know I shouldn't bring culture into it, because I want people to look at who they are genuinely attracted to. Because if I put Middle Easterns and Asians and Black people and white people all in the same room, and I say, let's talk about romantic relationships across the board, all women are going to find things that they can relate to when it comes to men. I don't care what culture you are. And all men are going to find similarities when they have a discussion about women, regardless of culture, which is why you should be open to it. Doesn't Culture matters, and you should respect each other's cultures and honor each other's cultures. And cultural differences can make a difference in attraction. But I think you should consider, who do you really like? Who are you drawn to? If you study Myers-Briggs personality types, you're going to have those same Myers-Briggs no matter what ethnicity they are. So I never, for example, choosing a friend because of their race, to me, it doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, my point is, I think it definitely sounds cruel to say, this guy likes her a little bit more than he likes you. That sounds so cruel. It feels so much better when we say, that guy likes me a little bit better than he likes her. That's flattering, but there can also be some very complicated situations regarding that. Like if somebody is already in a relationship with somebody and you come along, and for some reason, they are just more attracted to you than they are the person that they're with. It's going to cause problems with that relationship. It's going to cause problems for you. And things don't always work out that smoothly where it's just, okay, I like you, you like me. Sometimes somebody else comes along that they like better, that they're more attracted to. And it has nothing to do with whether you're a good person, a bad person, how hard you're working for him, how kind you are. I'm just thinking, what can you do in that situation? If you know you've been with this guy and something is just a little bit off, if a guy finds a woman that he likes better, that is a big temptation. And he might have a difficult time faking it with you, like pretending like everything is good when all he can think about is this other woman. So it could definitely, things are not cookie cutter. So what can you do in that situation? I don't know if you know who Vivica Fox is, but she dated 50 Cent like 23 years ago, and she still talks about him in interviews like that was the love of my life. Come to find out, they were only together for 4 months, and recently he said, can you please stop talking about me? Like that was over so long ago. It doesn't work that way. I mean, that's amazing, but with love, if you find one person that you can fall madly and deeply in love with, it's short of a miracle. So it's, to tell somebody to just turn that off is very difficult. Sometimes it means making difficult decisions and choosing yourself over a person who is rejecting you for whatever reason. I think that takes skill. I think it takes time. I think it takes years. If you're extremely lucky, you find the one and y'all run off into the sunset. But for most people, it doesn't happen that way. And love is involuntary. It's not something you can control. So to just turn it off because this person doesn't like me, most people beg and plead and hope and pray that that person is going to come back to them. At the same time, it could ruin your life. It could change your life. You could be waiting for somebody for the rest of your life and it never comes around. And you could also be missing an opportunity to be with somebody who will love you. And you might be the person to say, I like this person a little bit less than I like that other person. And figuring out, okay, how to make this work. Because if I had met, it's kind of like I know somebody who had coworkers that they didn't really like. I mean, they liked them, but they found a lot of issues with them. But years later, after they went through a series of horrible coworkers, they would do anything to go back to that first coworker. So sometimes if you don't have a comparison, you could think you have amazing, but then you meet somebody who's just a little bit more attractive. So we are kind of deep diving into a complex dynamic of romantic relationships, especially when it comes to feelings of attraction between two women vying for the attention of the same man or vice versa. So what does it mean when he seems to like one of you a little bit more? So it could create attraction, jealousy, self-worth issues. So let's figure out, how can you handle this type of situation gracefully? That's what I want you to think about. So have you ever found yourself in a romantic pickle where two fabulous women are vying for the attention of one charming guy? Welcome to the thrilling world of love triangles. So we're diving into this juicy drama of attraction, jealousy, and what happens when you suspect he might just like her a smidge more than you. So picture this. You're at a party and there he is, Mr. Perfect. But wait, he's laughing a little too hard at her jokes and stealing glances that make your heart race. What gives? So let's break down these signs that signals he's into her and what that might mean for you. So, spoiler alert, it's not all doom and gloom. I want to give you some tips on how to boost your confidence and even strategies to stand out. You could change up some things that you're doing. You could look into your personality. You can say, okay, what are some things that I can do better? Can I dress better? There have been people who look one way, but then when they start dressing up, it changes their entire appearance. They change their hairstyle, they change their hair color, they change the way that they dress. They try to become friendlier, a little bit more outgoing. It's funny because I've seen people interact with one person one way and me in a different way, where they are like, I'm thinking of somebody at work right now who is super friendly to the boss, but then with me, it's like, hello. And it's like they're more introverted, but they turn it on when it comes to the boss. And I'm sure she does that for her man as well. And it's like, dude, you don't even know who you have. Like, this girl is mean, rude, lame, boring. Yeah, I'm being a little mean and I'm being a little catty, but you could use that strategy where you act like $1,000,000 with the man that you're with, even if you're more introverted or quiet. Maybe you could beef it up a little bit. Or if you're super loud and obnoxious, maybe with him you could dial it down and give him a special version of yourself where you're more introspective and more of a listener and understanding and sweet. And so you could switch it up if that's your jam. Are you competitive? Some people get very competitive when it comes to relationships. I feel like I'm the type of person who deflates under those types of situations where I'm like, you can have them, because I'm not competitive like that. I don't know how to fight for stuff like that. It's like, either you want me or you want them. Okay, goodbye. Because I don't want to argue with anybody, and I just, my competitive juices don't flow that way. But if yours do, you might try it. It might be worth it, because we are in a scarcity time period when it comes to dating. Everything is confused and crazy right now. So if there's somebody that you really like, you might fight for him, or you might take the opposite approach where you think, you know what, I have fond memories. I will keep you in my dreams. I will fantasize about you, but I will not chase you. I have too much integrity. You've already rejected me. Why would I put myself in the situation to keep being rejected? I actually like me, and I can actually work on me for me and not for you, so that I'm ready for the next person who comes along. Also, be careful about changing up who you are too much, because there's somebody out there who could like your obnoxious laugh. And here you've dialed it down because that person didn't like it, when your true soulmate will actually love you for that. So let me know if you've ever been in a situation where you liked someone a little bit more than the other person, or you felt like you were in a situation where, why am I losing this situation? Like this, I'm losing my man right now because something is up. What is going on? And you find out there's someone else who has his attention. And that other person, by the way, might not be vindictive, vicious, and just trying to take your man. They might have a chemistry that is just off the charts, and it's not something that they're trying to make happen. She might actually be consciously trying to stay away and not cross any boundaries. So all people aren't bad, but I don't know. I think we have to consider every little thing in romantic relationships, and this is one of them. So if you're confused about why your man has pulled away a little bit, it could be because there's somebody else that he likes just a little bit better. And if you're in the other situation where a man likes you just a little bit more than he likes the girl that he's with and they're not married, what do you do in that situation? Do you say, I'm sorry, we love each other, I'm taking your man from you, girl, because you ain't married yet, y'all ain't in a real like solid commitment, all is fair in love and war? Or would you say, no, he's got a girlfriend, I'm gonna stay back and leave that situation alone? Like, what is the best thing to do when it comes to romantic love? So, hey, beautiful people. Thanks for watching. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments and what topics you want me to explore next. Your feedback means so much to me. Let's keep this adventure going. Don't break up with me. Be sure to subscribe and like the video. Check out my books on Amazon for insights on enhancing your love life, navigating narcissistic personalities, and exploring the 16 Myers-Briggs personality types. Links are in the description. You're amazing, and I can't wait to see you on the next video.